Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy No One here today. Someone that's fucking no one here today. And today, we are getting fucking nicked. We got the Soren. If you don't know what a Soren is, I recommend you look into it, because if you want to get nicked, this is the way. This isn't sponsored. I'm just letting you guys know, being a bro, because it's worth it. If you don't got a Soren, I recommend you go get one, because it's great. So let me just hit this real fast, guys. Alright, I just flew all over the mic. But the thing with the Soren is, it's all like it's like a box, kind of a rectangle box. And people don't know what it is. It's small, and you can use it in public because it's easy to zero shit. So it's like an ideal vape, and it gets you nicked as fuck. So like, it's an ideal vape. Like, yeah. If you like nick at all, yeah, I recommend you go get this, because it's way better than smoking cigs or some of those other vapes. So yeah, anyways, we're here for a story time video today. I'm listening to some hip-hop, so if you want to put on some hip-hop, go ahead. If you just want to hear me, go ahead, feel free. I'm listening to some 3 6 Mafia, getting the vibe here. So anyways, today, the story, guys. Yeah, let's stop stalling. The introduction's done. Another prom after party. So let's just jump into this. This happened during prom season, whatever. I knew other people, some friends who will go to other schools and who've invited me to their prom after parties, because it's a party. Let's turn up, fuck it. Like, I might not be at their school, but still, fuck it, turn the fuck up. So anyways, let's jump into this. So here is yet another fucking party, and we just got drunk as shit. Well, it wasn't so much of a party as we originally planned, but more of a kick it where we just got pretty drunk. So I have a really good friend of mine in another town I went to visit. We'll call him Tyson. Tyson and I have been good fucking friends for a long time. We always love to hang out and just, have a good time. Since Tyson and I are such good friends, he invited me and one of our other friends to the prom after party for his school. And, he actually invited us to go to the prom, but personally, I wasn't really phoning on that. I didn't want to have to get a ticket, and I don't really, like, if you don't know anything about high school proms, they be taxing like hell, man. And fuck that shit. I didn't want to, have to go buy a suit and all that, and get a date and all that bullshit. Worry about all that. I just want to have fun and turn up. That's what I want to do. I don't want to be at the dance. It's just a personal preference. Other people feel different about it. Can turn up at the prom, whatever. But I just wasn't fooling. Anyways, yeah, that shit's over. Anyways, this other friend, we actually talked about him before. Armando. Now, if you look at the prom after party story that I have, he was in that, and he was stealing some beer and stuff. So yeah. Anyways, Armando was planning to come with us, party with us. Have a good time. He was super excited about it. Dude's always trying to get on to parties and shit and all this bullshit. But I think, like, I don't know, something about him. Like, he didn't come eventually, but he didn't show up for whatever reason. I don't think, like, I don't even know, like, what he was doing. So I don't even remember. But yeah, this dude ain't really about it. But he's kind of goofy. I had him in English. I don't want to talk him down. He's just a little goofy, funny dude. But yeah, he didn't come. He was about to come though. Anyways, back to the nights. I took a train over to his town, and the train ride was pretty decent, I'll admit. I don't own a car, so it was the fastest, most convenient way there. Like, it was straight to his town and stuff. So anyways, I arrived in his town, and I believe like a half an hour early, an hour and a half about, actually. And I actually know Tyson's brother really well. Like, we're super good friends as well. And we'll call him Navile. I like that, Navile. And me and Navile were texting each other beforehand. And he was like, yo, bro, I'll pick you up at the station and we can hang out, beforehand. You go to the after party and stuff. And because he was telling me when I got there and stuff, like when I was going to be there, that Tyson was still going to be at the prom. He had a date and shit. But anyways, the train ride was good. I get at the train station, and waiting there is Navile and one of his friends. We'll call this friend, he's kind of a little significant. He talks to me a bit. But his name is Dennis. And Dennis doesn't play a huge part in the night, but he's there. But I remember we just shake up, start to catch up with each other, talk about some shit, because we haven't seen each other in a while, and Navile and I actually get along really well. And we had to walk through town and shit to get back to his car, because, it was actually his truck, his brother's truck, Tyson's truck, but the night was actually pretty active. Like, people were outside. It was a Saturday night. It's pretty lit outside. I remember we passed this bar, and these dudes were drunk as fuck. One of the dudes asked us, "You guys want to drink and party with us?" Like, there was these group of dudes, probably like college students and shit. And at the time, I maybe could have passed, but Dennis, this dude, Navile's friend, he looked so young. He was like so short and shit. Like, he still had a baby face and shit. Like, he looked like a lot younger than what he was. I think he was like 16 and shit. Like, he looked like 7th, 8th grade, man. Like, just the dude, how he was maturing. No disrespect towards him. He was pretty cool, but yeah, another dude was like, these dudes are like little kids, and they just continued to keep walking, probably bar hopping or some bullshit. But anyways, we get back to the truck, and we keep chatting it up, having a good time. We stop at Jewel for some drinks, and I remember we still had a while before I would actually meet with Tyson. So Navile said we would just go hang out with his friends at one of their houses. Now, Navile, he's a couple years younger than me, his Tyson's brother. Tyson and I are good friends, so I met Navile through him. He's a little bit younger, and makes sense. But I was hanging out, like, with these younger dudes. I mean, they were still pretty cool, like, not my age group necessarily, but, they were still pretty cool guys. But I remember we got to their house. It was a pretty nice house, 2 stories, nice amount of space, and I think there were, in total, it was like 12 freaking dudes or whatever. And it was kind of weird because when I first got there, they were all huddled into this dude's bedroom, like 12 dudes in one bedroom. Like, it was crowded as fuck. So when me, Navile, and Dennis got there, we basically said, like, let's go somewhere else where there's more room. So we went to the basement. There was definitely a lot more space in there, and we were just talking up. I got along well with everyone, and we were just cooling it. So about 15 minutes of being there, one of the dudes wanted to light up, like smoke a blunt. And I personally would have, if it wasn't for this reason. Now, not everyone was down for smoking weed. Navile, he wasn't into it. Dennis wasn't into it. Only like 4 guys there were actually down to smoke. And I didn't want to be some, random ass dude coming in, just hitting their weed. I mean, thinking about it now, it probably wouldn't have mattered. They probably wouldn't have cared at all. But, because people who like that, white dudes smoking like that, man, there was a bunch of white guys and shit. They're really cool dudes normally when it comes to weed and stuff. I mean, some people trip about it, but, the more the merrier. That's the vibe I was getting, because I think they offered me, but I was like, nah. But, Navile was about it, and I don't think, like, he was about it. Like, I think he'll grow into it, honestly, just because of the kind of dude he is. I'm trying to explain here, but, like, when you're younger, you kind of are, like, more innocent, more of a good kid, for some people at least. This isn't true for everyone, but, I personally went through it, but I grew up kind of fast. It's like a little stage that you grow up. Are you still, like, pretty innocent? You still want to do the good thing and stuff? Are you just have a bigger ego and whatnot and grow more and, like, oh, this ain't bad at all? Like, I feel like that's how kind of people are with weed. Some people are. They look at it like they're taught as a bad thing. They try it out. It's a good thing. Like, what's so bad about it? Like, this should be, it's kind of more of a woke situation I'm trying to get across here. But anyways, let's continue. Like, let's move on from that. All right. Anyways, I politely declined, and Navile wanted to leave, and some of the other dudes, and because, like, it was just kind of awkward for them since there was some dude smoking in the next room over. But we went back to Navile's crib, also Tyson's crib, my original friend. And it's another cool kick-it spot. They have, a basement set up as a kick-it spot. We went in. I said what up to their mom. I met their mom before multiple times, and their dad. But anyways, we went to the basement. They have this pool table. It's a nice table for games. They can change it to, like, ping pong. There's an Xbox set up. There's even a weight room. It's a nice little basement. And, like, I was pretty much set up for a good time. Only thing we were missing were the drinks. And I guess, but I still had a good time while we were still doing this. There were still 6 of us, I believe, in total. And we played some ping pong, played some pool, played some chess. Chess is actually pretty lit. Like, it makes you use your mind and shit. It's not for nerds and shit. If you can actually have some fun at this. And let me tell you guys, I beat a lot of my friends at chess. Let me fucking tell you, like, it's a no competition sometimes. Like, I've just, like, smack niggas at chess. So I played Navile. I smacked him at chess. But we were having a hoot. Music was playing. We got candles going for a nice little smell. It's a damn good time. And this basically goes on until Tyson is pretty much done with the prom. So Tyson had the plan of hitting us up after the prom and then going to the party. So now my school didn't do this, but his school had an after prom event with just a bunch of different games and shit going on, which I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, our school didn't do that, so I mean, it's cool that it's called the after prom and shit. But Tyson, he comes back to the crib, I believe around 8:30 or something around there, and we shake up, of course, and he gets changed, and we get ready for this prom. He gets out of the tuxedo and shit, and he chases out, and he get like comfy ass shit, kind of stumbling on words, my bad, but we say goodbye to Navile and the rest of his friends and shit. A little stutter, but my fault, guys. And we are pretty much off. Now, I don't remember if we did this first or after, because this happened a while ago, but we went to the store, I think Jewel again, and we got some soda, some Hawaiian punch as chasers, for the after party. Now, Tyson told me he already did some shots, but nothing to make him drunk. So, he was driving good and shit. Now, the plan actually changed. Originally, there was supposed to be this huge fucking party. I mean, huge, I guess, house party and stuff. Like, I'm guessing hundreds of people, because the word got out so damn much. The cops found out and pretty much told the dude, you better not have this fucking party. And, the dude listened, and that's pretty much a guarantee. They would have busted it. Hell yeah. And the dude probably would have got charged for underage drinking and shit. Fuck that. So sadly, there wasn't this huge party, but more of a kick it this time. And we go to this prom event, and I swear it's kind of like a damn carnival. Like a little fun fair or some shit. And, they don't have no Ferris wheel and rides, but there's like these bouncy houses. There's these people and balls. They had poker and all this different kinds of shit. And I guess it was pretty cool. But honestly, it was mainly from Tyson. He wasn't really fun. Like, we were trying to have some fun, but it wasn't really like a lit situation. So I kind of, since it was his idea and stuff, I was kind of, agreeing with him about that. Like, oh yeah, I mean, but if he wanted to make the best of it, I probably would have. But, I was just kind of like, whatever, sure, why not, just go with the flow type of thing for me. My thinking right there. But we went to hoop a little. They had some basketballs. We got bored, pretty quick. We played some poker. Got bored pretty quick. I'm pretty sure we were just like, fuck it, we'll just go all in that shit. But what would have actually made the situation really fun, thinking about it now, if we were intoxicated. Both him and I agreed on this, but it was in the school. We didn't have shit with us, and there were actually teachers and shit watching over us. I can't say that word, I guess. But, of course, no one had, blunts and shit. No one had drinks out. No one had shit. Maybe there was some shit in the bathroom that we didn't have a chance to check out, but, it's whatever. And I think a half hour, we leave, and like deuces out this fucking bitch, and get out of there. And it was retarded how we had to leave. His school, I guess, really cares a bit too much. I'm pretty sure my school wouldn't have done this, but to fucking leave the building, you needed parent permission. And Tyson and I were both 18 right now, or at this time, and we weren't phone. And I remember a ton of fucking people were trying to dip out. So what we had to do was like make them call their parents, and the teacher would talk to them, ask the teacher like, is it okay if the son or daughter leaves? Bullshit. That's the basic situation going on. And Tyson had no problem calling up his mom, but I wasn't trying to call my parents. They didn't know we were going to this after prom shit and all that. And it was like late, I believe. I don't even know what time it was. I figured like they were probably sleeping around this time, and they would be pissed if I just called them. So basically the plan we made up here was Tyson told me to call him once he got outside the school, and he would act as my dad. And well, it fucking worked. And this time for real, deuces, we got this bitch. So we go back in the whip, and we were planning to go to, this little after kick it party or whatever. Now personally, I would have much preferred to go to the huge party, but, the kick it was a solid time. There was some sorting out to do, like a half hour before we actually got to this dude's house. And we'll call this dude Marcus, like this dude's house where we were kicking it at. besides Marcus, there were these 3 other girls and another dude I actually knew prior, and this dude we'll call Nate. Then for the girls, 2 of them were actually girlfriends. Marcus had his girlfriend and Nate had his. And we'll call Marcus's girl Autumn, and we'll call Nate's girl Lena, okay? And then there was this other girl who was single. My boy Tyson and her went together, but like as friends. They weren't really into each other, I guess. I don't know. Or they weren't really trying to have a relationship. I don't know the situation, but they're not really like that. They just went as friends, but they just turned up together, I guess. But we'll call this girl Alicia. Now let me tell you boys, Alicia is fucking thick as fuck. Oh my god, bro. Like this girl is like an 18-year-old Alexis Texas type of girl. Like, I'm not fucking kidding, bro. Her booty was fucking huge. Not a fat huge. She was like pretty slim, like chubby, like Alexis Texas. If you don't know who she is, look her up. That's how she was. And I remember Navajo told me before I went, he was talking about her and shit, and he kept on repeating, man. He kept on repeating this phrase. She thick as fuck, nigga. Like, she's fucking thick as fuck. Like, he kept on telling me, like, she's so fucking thick. Like, so crazy. And it's true as fuck. And, like, the thing is, you have to see for yourself. Now, personally, I'm not someone who's crazy about, like, sex. And, like, it's not, like, a priority, like, a main priority for me. Like, it can create some very awkward situations afterwards. Like, I see the negatives of the shit. Like, I'd rather have friends, like, but it depends, honestly, if she's down. Like, depends on the type of girl, I suppose. And, like, I'm kind of over, like, banging a bunch of girls. Like, that's a different story for when I was younger. Like, I've been there, done that type of situation. But, anyways, I wasn't really just trying to hit her and, hit, sex hit, Anyways, I meet them all, some new people I meet, their girlfriends, this dude Marcus, and all that, I knew Nate, of course, but anyways, we were having, a pretty good time so far. We started drinking, we had some vodka, it was pretty nice. Now, I'm not a bitch at all with my shit, and Tyson and I were the first one to actually start drinking, and Tyson hit me with some bullshit. He said this. Bro, you gotta get the right mixture so it doesn't burn or taste gross. But your boy No One here, we can't fall for that. We can't fall for that shit. And I just can't. It's not in my blood. Like, I can't be a bitch. So I mixed it with some stuff. I think I had Pepsi or Hawaiian. I don't remember exactly. But what I do remember was my drink tasted mostly like alcohol, like vodka. It just had like a different color to it. So it kind of looked like it mixed. Now, I made sure my shit was hella strong, going down. Because I swear, I like my drinks like that because I know for a fact that way, I'll get messed up this way if it's strong as fuck. I'm not being a little bitch about it. I want to get fucked up and shit, turn up. And there's a little difference between my drink and if you just got a glass of straight vodka. Honestly, that's how it was. That's how my shit was. And motherfuckers might look at me like, you're crazy. You're crazy, man. And, after Tyson said this bullshit, gotta get the right mixture so it doesn't burn or taste gross, I was like, bro, I was like, here, like this, bro. I was just playing with him. I had my drink, and I let his ass taste it. And it was funny as shit, man. I swear this dude's face crunched up so much. And he had a big struggle to swallow the shit. He's like, yeah, not like that, bro. And I just laughed at his ass. But eventually we all started to drink. And I won't get into every single thing we did. We played some music. We were talking. Having a good time for the most part. Hanging out. Just kind of drinking. I have no idea what we talk about. Really. I don't really remember. I guess I could get into everyone's personalities a little bit. Describe these people a little bit. So Marcus, he was a cool guy. He was more of a party guy. And more fitting for my personality. Of just wanting to turn up. Me and him, we were turning up. He said I was cool as fuck and shit. But I remember we got, some snaps with him. We were cool as fuck, getting fucked up, drinking and shit. But with Nate, he's kind of like a personal, like, he has a nice personality. He's very caring for his girlfriend, especially Lena. And I feel like most of the night they were, like, paired by each other. Like, they were really next to each other the whole time. Like, they're one of those couples that, like, they really do love each other. I really do feel like they have, like, real emotions for each other. Like, they're a cute couple and shit. And it's some real stuff, and I respect it, But Lena, she's hot as fuck. I ain't gonna go. I wasn't gonna go after her and be a dick about it, but Lena kind of later has this little episode later in the night now. And she's a really innocent girl, but she got drunk as fuck, okay? And the same thing with Alicia. She got so drunk, and she was slumping, dude. And but Marcus's girl, Autumn, okay? I don't really think she even drank that much. I don't think she was really full on drinking. And I can't really remember, honestly. She wasn't big on it. And I just remember she was, out of all of us, though, like one of the first ones to actually go to sleep. And she seemed like the most innocent girl out of all the three. And keep in mind, these are all white girls, too. Just very nice girls who, wanted to party a little bit. So, anyways, we do all this talking, or cooling, drinking, and then we decided to play some beer pong. Marcus had a perfect table for this, had the cups and everything, so, why the fuck not? And I'm pretty sure Marcus and Autumn played against Nate and Lena. And I know for a fact that Marcus took all the shots for Autumn. So we didn't use beer, by the way. We were using what we had. Vodka. Hell yeah, for the shots. And I can't remember the bottle, but it was definitely nice. And Marcus had a really cool idea, and I thought it was cool as well, that we should mix certain cups with water, then certain ones with vodka. So like half will be vodka, half will be water. So you wouldn't know, it would build up suspense. It was an awesome idea. And I think Nate and Lena won that game. I can't remember honestly, but since we had an odd number of people during this, I offered to actually play against, myself. I want to get more drunk and shit. Fuck it, I'll play by myself. So Tyson and Elisa, I remember in my head, like, I was only saying that to get more drunk and get some more vodka. So I played against Tyson and Alina. And when I was drinking, I just kept drinking and drinking. And I got fucked up. I kind of hate it now, alcohol and shit. I talked about this a little bit. But anyways, I didn't get drunk to that point, thankfully, that night. But anyways, we had a good game of beer pong. I lost, actually, and this is very depressing. By one fucking cup. I had the lead and shit. They came back. It was terrible. But at this point, I had an excuse. I was pretty fucking drunk, and you know how hard it is if you're drunk and to play beer pong when you're drunk as fuck. And you try to make them bitches, and you're already like, everything's all distorted already and shit. So I swear to God, it's like, trying to make a full court shots, like basketball shots. And normally for me, I would either bank them bitches or I would airball it at this point. And, I did end up losing. But anyways, drank all the vodka. We still had some left in the bottle. No one actually wanted it. And, it was a nice few shots. And I think I ended up drinking. I said, fuck it, man. I guess everyone else was feeling, pretty right. But I was like, I'm trying to go big or go home. We love the party, okay? And I remember Marcus saying that he was probably going to, like, put it away or whatever. But I just grabbed the bitch, and I drink the rest. And he goes pretty wild over this. But I think like 4 shots or some shit. And this nigga, Marcus, he was geeking hard, laughing his ass off. But we were having a good time about it. Like, he was like, you're wild, dude. And it was fun. And I can't say I remember exactly what happened. But we were just, hanging out, having a hoot. It was a good time, just talking. I was acting dumb because, I was drunk. I remember Marcus, he gave me these crackers from somewhere, too. It was weird. And, I bit it. And then I tried to feed Alicia with the cracker I just bit off. So it was... And Nate, he was geeking from this. But another thing I love to do when I'm intoxicated off alcohol is try to walk straight. Just like as a little challenge. It's normally a good gauge to realize, how fucked am I up? How fucked am I? And, because the alcohol's effects, it's differently than most people. It has more of a upper effect when I take it. And I kind of have a much of a more higher tolerance to it. And I kind of looked into this stuff, and it's true. So I can actually handle a lot more, especially for my weight, as I don't, weigh that much. So, but anyways, I would try to, walk heel toe that bitch. And if a cop was testing me, I would have ended up going straight to jail. But I think I ended up falling on like the 4th step. So the shit was like walking on a thin ass wire. But anyways, we all hung out, and around 3 in the morning, we decided, let's get some sleep. We don't have to stay up all night. But with me though, when I'm trying to turn up, especially if it's off alcohol. I love staying up most of the night and enjoy, like, not sleeping it. Like, we got to stay up and party all night. We can't waste one bit. We got to stay up till dawn type of shit. Like, we're really going all out. Like, that's just my little personality when turning up. And keep in mind, it acts like an upper for me, so I wasn't really slumped. But Marcus does have a nice little hookup for us. A nice bed he actually pulled out. Some couches that were really comfy. Big ass TV. He put on some Netflix. And I remember first I was going to, take some of the couches, and then somehow I ended up with a big ass bed. I think Nate and Lena were gonna end up with a big ass bed, but somehow I did. I don't remember how, but I ended up sleeping on that bitch. It was like a queen bed too. But Marcus and Autumn, they actually went upstairs to his room. Maybe they fucked. I have no idea, and I feel like there might have been something going on between them. I honestly don't know. To me, Marcus seems like, yeah, I mean, it's prom night. Yeah, maybe, like, yeah, hell yeah, like, I feel like maybe something went down between them. But then Nate and Lena, like, they started up by us when we started to go to sleep, but then they, like, turned out later. Like, they crawled away to the other side of the living room, and this dude had a pretty long living room, but I took the mattress, and Tyson and I were actually just chatting it up for a while. And I believe around this point, Alicia kind of started to slump in another couch. And I remember before Autumn crawling over to the other side of the room of her, or my bad, not Autumn, Lena. Okay, hopefully I don't mix the names up. Lena and Nate, they were both really drunk, especially Lena. And she got, like, her speech was fucked up drunk. Like, she was that gone. But anyway, she was asking me to play all this music and shit, like some G-Eazy, I think, and some shit that she liked, and eventually she got into her feelings because of it, and she crawled to the other side of the room and started crying and shit, and she thought everyone was asleep, because I think Tyson and I stopped talking for a little, but Nate was, like, confronting her and shit, and, like, wasn't trying to be nosy or anything, but I think she was, like, they were talking about the relationship, so I wasn't trying to get all into it, but, I just kind of heard it. And Tyson and we were talking, but Tyson, he said I need to sleep, bro, I'm tired, and he was like all that. And I wasn't voting, remember, I love to turn up, and I wanted him to be awake, and I was drunk as fuck, and I tried to wake up Alicia to see if she was down to party and shit. Like, this girl was sleeping. I remember tapping on her. I got no response. I was, like, shrugging on her, and I had no idea if she was, like, asleep or passed out. But I didn't notice at first, because it was all dark and shit. Like, all the lights are off. I was grabbing on this girl's booty, okay? Because we were in the dark, trying to catch that sleep, and I couldn't see where I was touching her. And let me tell you, it felt nice. And I didn't mean to do that, I'm just being honest, I'm not trying to be like, oh, you fucking did, don't be thinking that, like, oh, you fucking just wanted to touch her butt and blah, 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 blah. No, that wasn't the case now. I accidentally did it. But the funny thing is, after I noticed, like, after I kind of looked closely, I think I got my phone light a little bit and saw, I kept on going, and I kept on rubbing that bit, but eventually I went back to Tyson, and I was like, bro, you gotta get some of that. I was whispering all this bullshit, and I was telling him, like, I was rubbing her butt and shit. He was like, bro, don't do that, bro, and he started laughing at me and shit, but I just kept on telling him, like, go get her, bro. I was trying to encourage him, like, go do something with her. Nate and Lena are together. Marcus and Autumn are together. You gotta get together, bro. I was encouraging him and shit. I wanted to see him, score that night. But I was like, here, bro, I'll wake her up and tell her you want her. And this nigga was like, don't do that. And he was like freaking out a little bit. But I tried to wake her up anyways. But she was slumped. Like, she was not getting up. Like, I think she had too much to drink. Like, she did not seem conscious. And I think sometime during the night, she ended up waking up, saw where Lena was, and she crawled over there to comfort her like Nate was, because she was crying and shit, remember. But anyways, I eventually just said fuck it at one point, fell asleep like a rock. And you know that feeling when you're drunk and you don't feel super tired, but you just kind of lay down for a second, and 1 second later you're passing out. Like, that's basically what happened to me. And the next thing, Tyson's waking me up, and we got to dip before Marcus's parents actually get up. So Tyson and I leave. We dip to the card, and I'm actually still kind of drunk when I wake up, because I had a lot of that vodka. But Tyson, he didn't drink as nearly as much as he did. It was pretty much sober at this point. I think he got more sleep than me too, and he was good to drive. And the first thing that both came to our mind, of course, straight in the morning, you wake up, what do you want? Some food, bro. So we went over to Starbucks, and I grabbed some coffee, some pretty good shit, and then we went over to Walmart because I honestly had the munchies at this point. Like, I was still drunk, and I was just grabbing all this junk food when we went to Walmart. Because I asked Tyson, yo, let's stop at Walmart. And Tyson kept on telling me, bro, we are not going to eat all of this, bro. We do not need all of this shit. And he kept on telling me, but I insisted. I was just getting a ton of food. And, of course, we didn't even eat half of the shit I got. And we went back to his place. And Neville and his friends were actually still crashed there. And Tyson and I played a game of chess. And, of course, I won, of course, your boy wins. And then, like, we were still tired, honestly. And we kept on saying, we only got a couple hours of sleep, I think, like 2-3 hours of sleep. And we just kicked it in his room for the time. We were just, some small talk, and we watched some Netflix. And overall, pretty good time. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. I caught my train later that day. And, we had a good time. That was a good time overall. But I figured, let me share this story. This is a nice little time I turn up. It's a nice little story. We enjoyed ourselves and whatnot. And I figured it would be entertaining. So, if you did enjoy this video, tell me what you thought about it. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Tell me why in the comments below. And if you enjoyed my content, subscribe, of course, man. Subscribe, help out, donate if you want. Share the video, whatever. Your boy's trying to grow out here. It's been your boy, No One Reviews. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.